Gopal, thank you for helping my project. Could you say a little bit about yourself?
Thank you for visiting me today, Nathan. And I'm a aerospace mechanical engineer graduate, and I worked in the space industry, automotive industry, and defense industry over a period of time. So I'm 60 now, so I am still working a little bit contract and in the education and also with space industry recruitment and all those kind of things.
Wow, so you would have been in your early teens when we first went to the moon back in 1969.
Yes, I was 5 year old.
Oh, you were 5 years
5 year old.
Okay.
Yes, and yes, we saw the newspaper, radio. It was all excitement, and we always remember the name Neil Armstrong, Apollo, and Buzz Aldrin all the time. And those, Eagle, Houston, Eagle has landed. Those are the famous words from the astronaut. Still remember those fresh.
And I guess you know that we're going back to the moon?
Yes.
And what do you think about that?
As I said, I used to work in the space program, still passionate about space adventures happening, and always tracking NASA's program and other programs. I'm so excited about Artemis. I was very frustrated working the transition from the station shuttle to the next program. So, but now it looks like everything is coming together, and it's so exciting to see that we are going back to the moon in 1 year or 2 years. We don't know. And I guess the next mission is for the astronauts to go around the moon and come back. And I'm looking forward to the day when I hope it happens in my lifetime and I'm alive to see the next human landing in the moon. And I hope I participate in some of those programs.
Me too. My dream in joining NASA was to be in mission control the next time that we have people walking on the moon. I personally don't care about my role. I would be, if it's serving coffee, I'd be up for that.
Me too.
But we could be the coffee and chai wala.
Sure. And yeah, go ahead.
I was going to ask you, when you think about where all this might lead us 200 years in the future, do you think humans are still just on the Earth making these short trips to places? Or do you think in 200 years we've fundamentally been able to increase our technology and our vision and our presence in the solar system so that we have people, on Mars sitting around a table like this having, a nice dinner and conversation? Or what's your thoughts?
So I think it's exciting if we can go and do that, like what we are here on Earth. If human can replicate that. I think it's not easy, so it's going to take some time. I think it looks like the visions of NASA and including the private enterprise to do that. I think that looks very exciting, and simultaneously solving all the problems humans face in the biological, how to cater to the human life on other celestial bodies. A lot of interesting work is going on. I'm just hoping and praying all of them come together as symphony and to make it happen. With my limited knowledge, I feel one thing is, how do we recreate Earth in moon? How do you create an atmosphere in moon? Do we because it's a lot of challenge just to build another station, living with suits, growing to vegetables and grains for human being to sustain. I wish we can replicate Earth in moon, and with air and nitrogen and I don't know how you can make the soil of moon like Earth, but and then how do you attend to human needs from health issues and all those kind of things. I think we have evolved, or we have really mastered the art of flying into the moon. We will in another short period to go and land and make it easy. Private people will be doing it successfully, but the next challenges will be is how do we recreate whatever happens in Earth? How do we replicate in the moon? I'm sure there are companies like Axiom and Intuitive Space are there to do it in low Earth orbit and carry that to the those technologies to the moon. I hope, and I hope this happens, but I don't know what will happen in 200 years, how long it's going to take. So I just can hope and pray that we can do it easily, sustainably, and also we can succeed in this outcome. I'm sure on the way we'll be learning and doing a lot of things. Unless we explore, we won't know what are the challenges and keep solving it. So, but I am hopeful that it will happen. I don't know when, but maybe much before 200 years or maybe after 200 years. We have to see. So maybe our future generation will see that. So.
Yeah, I was just thinking, like on the moon, we think there's like these big lava tubes, so maybe one thing we could do is find a lava tube, make it airtight, and you have like this huge volume that's sort of protected inside the moon. Now you just need to light it up and, create a biosphere and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
So.
Yeah, I think that I don't know. It's like a geo people, moon, who people understand the moon, and they're I don't know what you call that, like geotechnical people, moon technical people.
Sure.
If they know how to create energy there, obviously, if you can create easy spacecraft, navigation system, port, power system, everything, so that landing, power, everything is taken care of. And similarly, I didn't understand what you meant by the lava system, but it's just that to breathe, to create all those systems so that it becomes normal to go land, live there for as long as we want, and come back and replenish or start creating things there. So yes, I think technology will take us there, and hopefully it will lead to a more what you call collaborative effort between the world as a humanity. We do these things, and I'm hoping and praying we succeed.
If you could, would you take a trip to space?
I don't know. I don't know whether I'll be able to take the 3G. I wish we find a space elevator or something, a different technology to make it comfortable to take it. As you get old, your ability to take physical discomfort reduces. So I would love to go and see Earth from space, and which I've seen so much from the pictures and videos from a station, and similarly from some of those videos of old Apollo missions, and some of the new missions from other countries, and US missions also. I would love to go to low Earth orbit. I I would go to moon maybe when everything becomes safe.
You're willing
It's operational.
After a few, how many people would have to go and come back before you felt comfortable?
That's a good question.
Like, is it hundreds, thousands, millions?
That's a good question. Maybe hundreds. Maybe I should say 100 to 1,000 people, and people I know who have gone and come back. That makes me feel comfortable.
Absolutely, no incidents. You're like,
yes.
Everybody
yes.
has their, the Instagram pictures, and they're smiling, and they're back and talking to their friends.
Yes.
And you're like,
and I think by that time our hardwares and the transportation system will be, foolproof, made very sophisticated and safe, and we don't have any issues with those things. But it's just that how do you live there, how do you stay there, how do you, all those kind of things. So if that's things are created, I wish I would have, when I was young, I would have told I'm ready to go now, but maybe now I don't need the same braveness to say that.
It's kind of ironic, right? Whenever we're young, we have all of our lives ahead of us, and we put so much at risk. But as we get older, obviously, there's less and less of our future ahead of us.
Yeah.
But then we become more and more precious and less willing to put it at risk.
That is true. That is, I guess, your limitation of the physical body. That's why.
You become more aware of the risk, and whenever you're young, you don't realize
you don't know the risk.
You don't know anything. There's like no downside.
That's the right attitude for an explorer. As you get old, you can still be an explorer, but now maybe the older generations or 2-3 generations back, they were more an explorer. Even at the old age, they were more brave. But I think the current generation, we are used to some comforts and securities or whatever it is. So, but I'm sure this young generation will take us to make it for old people like us to go and visit moon in in our lifetime, hopefully.
Well, Gopal, thank you so much for your time. Is there anything else that you want to add to this time capsule that people maybe 200 years from now will be looking back on around their coffee tables and on Mars?
Yeah, I think it will be precious for them. You know, many a times we cannot we feel the disconnect between our previous generation, like that. We may have a disconnect, but these kind of videos will show them how. I don't know whether we really show them the whole thing, how we lived, but it can just open a window to our thoughts, and I'm sure they'll be laughing at it, and because they would have progressed much further from what we live today. So, but I think I wish them well and continue to, you know, explore the joy of exploring the universe and at the same time being empathetic to the whole world. So, thank you for visiting me and interviewing me. And it's always a pleasure about talking about space, and I get always excited about it. Thank you.
Thank you.